Okay guys, as promised, this is my video response pretty much this week to the questions that we got on the Pagan Perspective. Being that I recently became a sub, I thought I would make videos on a weekly basis and hopefully answer any questions that we do receive on the channel and just pretty much be able to feel more part of it. Even though I'm a sub, I still get like the week at the end of the month to help out. But just trying to help whenever I can, really. So just going through and doing all that sort of stuff. So I did print out stuff this week, so I'm more prepared. So the questions we did get this week were from Red Dragon 033195, and he was asking about the origin word paganus, which was used as a derogatory term it pretty much means country dweller or country folk, and how do we feel about using it in our practice? Do we feel that it would insult the gods or our non-Christian ancestors to use this in our modern practice? Me personally, like what's been explained through this week with a few of the other videos, the term pagan for me is definitely an umbrella term. It's the core of most practices that are pretty much of non-Christian or anglicized background, and looking at it from this point that pretty much it's the tree base that a lot of other traditions are based off. So if you were to group them together, pagan would be the general umbrella term you would use, and then you can branch off into, like, say, either Wicca, Druidry, shamanism, animism. There's all the different traditions and different paths that you can put into that, but if you were to use it as a general term, that's what kind of covers it all. Myself personally, I used to be a member of the Pagan Awareness Network here in Australia, and the amount of time that we would use just the term pagan to cover a lot of things, it made it a lot easier to explain it. And in paperwork, if we used one uniform word to explain everything, so we actually have, coming up this year, we have this national thing called the census, where they actually send out paperwork and information to all the residents and households within Australia, and they ask, like, looking at the economic rates, religious background, age in houses, sometimes I think they look at, like, the sex and gender, the marital status and all that sort of stuff in households as well. And as part of the Pagan Awareness Network this year, we're actually trying to get paganism officially recognised as a religion within Australia. So the program we have is called Pagan Dash, which pretty much anyone that is like a druid, a shaman, a wiccan, a witch, if they put down on their census paperwork pagan to start with, then a dash, and then whatever their sub-branch is. So pretty much it all gets included under the pagan umbrella there and helps promote it through our country and with here, so it's recognised, because we have no official recognised religion of Australia, I don't think, but it's heavily based on a lot of Christian values here. Even just getting our foot in the doorstep to have that being recognised, paganism being recognised here on, like, a registered paperwork that gets sent out would be fantastic. Okay, I think that covered most of it, but yeah, I hope that's what you're looking for. And personally, I don't think the gods or our ancestors would be insulted by the use of it. Words grow and change through time, and they're influenced by people and paths and everyone that's related to that as well. Okay, so the next one we had was from Black Snake Moan 231, and they're freshly new to Wicca, so welcome to the wonderful magical world that we have here. And they're just wondering what the difference is between Wiccans, pagans, and witches, and I think I kind of covered that a bit in the beginning. So for me personally, pagan is the umbrella term. It's the core central tree pretty much of traditions, or not traditions, because paganism is just kind of the umbrella term, but like it branches off into a tradition. So you have Wicca being one of the traditions set up by Gerald Gardner, and looking at the main cause and beliefs behind there being like the Wiccan Rede and the Threefold Law. And then looking at something like a term like witch, which kind of falls under, it's like a sub-category, personally, for me, because you can be like, there's different branches of witches, but it also can be used under other categories. So you may be a druidic like druid witch, or you might be a shamanic witch like myself personally. It just pretty much is another name and another title that gets used for. There's so many titles that we throw around pretty much just to label ourselves so that we can be recognized by other people, when in the end the only person you're really answering to is yourself and to the gods. You got to think about it from this point. When you're sitting before your altar, you're making your offerings and you're doing your ritual, what do you call yourself? How do you announce yourself to your gods? How do you recognize yourself? And in the end, with that, you can either be a pagan, you can be a wiccan, you can be a witch. It's all pretty much just down to personal choice and what you feel in relation to that. The last one we had as well was from Jasmine Esme. And let's see. Oh, she was asking about with being a Wiccan. Where are we? Okay, not being able to call yourself a priest or a priestess unless you've been initiated into a coven in the Wiccan tradition. Okay, from what my understanding is, I do have friends that actually belong to a Gardnerian coven back in Sydney, and to be priests or priestess in that coven, they do have to go through the degree system, so the first, the second and third degree. But they're set to a tradition, so they do follow the Gardnerian tradition. But if you are to call yourself an eclectic Wiccan, it's more than perfectly fine for you to go through your own a self-dedication, to do a personal or self-initiation, to go through that. You don't need to become a part of a group to be recognised that. It may be that with your own personal priesthood or priestesshood, that if you were to talk to someone from a Wiccan tradition, it may not be recognised by them because it's not recognised within their tradition, and that's just how their tradition dictates priest and priestesshood and what has to go through that to be there. So pretty much you're just following the guidelines that they talk about and the information that they have within their tradition. But if you're taking from multiple traditions to create kind of your own personal path, go ahead. It's up to you, really. Like, if you want to be... I'm going to make a video very shortly about this that a friend was talking about, but pretty much if you want to dedicate yourself to a path, you can pretty much call yourself any title. Like I was saying, it's down to you how you answer to yourself, how you answer to your gods, how you answer to your practice and devotion. It's, in the end, it's just a label, it's a title that we put on ourselves, and pretty much the world is full of labels, full of names, and full of titles. It's all just words, and when you break down to it, it's what's between those words, what's in the silence, that really dictates who you are and what you are, and it's just being able to look and internally reflect upon yourself and work out where you're going with your path and what's happening. So hopefully this is kind of what, well, kind of helps out. And to all my new subscribers, thank you very much for following me over from Pagan Perspective. If you found me there, or if you found me elsewhere, welcome to my channel. And yeah, I'll be doing a couple more videos in the next day or so. My next vlog video I'm doing tomorrow. I was going to film today, but I ran out of daylight, and kind of for this one I need some daylight so it makes everything visible. But yes, you'll be seeing some more videos up shortly. So anyway, for that, much love and blessings, and blessed be.